Today, I'm putting NFL players onto their biggest rivals' teams. Patrick Mahomes on the Raiders, Joe Burrow on the Cleveland Browns, Lamar Jackson on the Pittsburgh Steelers, just to name a few. I have taken the best offensive and defensive players from all 32 teams and traded them over to their biggest rival. And I am going to be simulating a full NFL season with our new look NFL to see who walks away as the Super Bowl champion. But first, let me talk about some of the notable players changing teams. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins swap players with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey going to Buffalo, but coming back to Miami, Josh Allen and Greg Rousseau. The San Francisco 49ers, Christian McCaffrey and Fred Warner now play for the Los Angeles Rams, who in exchange got Darius Williams and Cooper Kupp, so a big downgrade for the 49ers. For the Giants-Eagles rivalry, I was going to bring Saquon Barkley back to the Giants, but instead went with A.J. Brown and Darius Slay, where in return the Eagles got Dexter Lawrence, and they also got Malik Neighbors. And the final one we'll take a look at here is the Lions winded up sending Aiden Hutchinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for Justin Jefferson and Harrison Smith. And for this roster, all injuries are turned off, so I wish a speedy recovery to Aiden Hutchinson, and he will be playing for the Vikings. Real quick, everyone, I just want to say that about 90% of the people watching this video right now are not even subscribed, so if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're jumping in to week one. I'm going to check out two different games to see how these players mix with their rival teams, and I had to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers because at quarterback is not Russell Wilson, not Justin Fields. It is two-time league MVP Lamar Jackson. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fans of a lot of different teams being sick of seeing some of these players on their rival teams in their uniforms now. Like Steelers fans and probably Ravens fans are not happy about seeing Lamar Jackson in the black and gold. But Lamar, first down to the 32-yard line. Also coming over to the Pittsburgh Steelers is Roquan Smith from the Ravens. For the Falcons, their rival is the New Orleans Saints, so they have Demario Davis, and they got Alvin Kamara, and look at Lamar. Instant impact touchdown, Calvin Austin. Now, unfortunately for somebody like Alvin Kamara that was traded to the Falcons from the Saints, Demario Davis is on the field all the time, but they do have Bijan Robinson, so Kamara is going to be their running back too. Roquan Smith on the field for the Steelers. I believe I ended up sending an offensive lineman from the Falcons and Jesse Bates over to the New Orleans Saints. So not too many changes on this Falcons offense besides the O-line. Bijan Robinson going to get a carry. I'm sure Kamara will make some plays too, though. I will probably jump into one or two more games in week one before simulating to the end of the season, where we'll be jumping in to the late playoff games. And Kirk Cousins all day to throw. Roquan Smith not there, but oh, maybe he will make the tackle. Roquan Smith was there at the end. He was waiting on Kirk Cousins to scramble. Let's see who wins this game. And Lamar Jackson, in his first game as a Steeler, leads them to a 34-20 win over the Atlanta Falcons. The Raiders and the Chiefs fans must hate this one, as game two we're jumping into here. Mahomes is the new starting quarterback for the Vegas Raiders, and also they got Chris Jones on defense, so they are looking to take a massive step up. They did have to give up Max Crosby, so that is a little bit of a downgrade, but they got Chris Jones anyway, so not too bad. And Mahomes already doing things for the Raiders that they're not really getting in real life. But Raiders fans, Chiefs fans, how do you feel about this in the comments down below? Raiders fans, do you want Mahomes on your team if you can get him? And Chiefs fans, obviously you don't want to see him go. But Mahomes, he's doing a good job so far. If Mahomes and Chris Jones lead the Raiders to a Super Bowl in this simulation, that is it. Mahomes and Chris Jones will win every single time in a Madden sim. It is impossible for them to lose because the rest of their roster is not that good. Touchdown though, Brock Bowers. Will he turn him into the next Travis Kelce? Mahomes connects with his rookie tight end already. As for the Baltimore Ravens, you're going to see George Pickens maybe at some point on this field. Their quarterback is Russell Wilson. I figured since I traded Lamar to the Steelers, why not give them a competent quarterback back? So they did wind up getting Russell Wilson and George Pickens. And then on defense, they got TJ Watt, who we really didn't even get to mention because Mahomes scored so quickly. So TJ Watt, George Pickens were the two guys, best player on offense and defense, and then I figured give them Russell Wilson anyway because the Steelers were not going to use him over to the Baltimore Ravens. So definitely a big downgrade on offense for the Ravens, losing Lamar, substituting in for Russell Wilson. But on defense, you did get TJ Watt, who's a bit of an upgrade to Roquan Smith, but Russ taking off. I am so excited to see who's going to make the playoffs. I think I'm going to skip to it right after this. We're going to check out all the new players on their new teams, who's leading in what categories. Russell Wilson, 3rd and 13, sacked by Chris Jones. Look at the impact of Mahomes and Chris Jones on the Raiders. And Mahomes and the Raiders go 2-0 on the season, barely beating Russell Wilson, George Pickens, and TJ Watt of the Baltimore Ravens. And here are your AFC standings at the end of the season. The Buffalo Bills won their division. We talked about it earlier. They got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey from their rival, the Dolphins. The Ravens wound up winning the AFC North. We covered them too. George Pickens and TJ Watt came over from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Houston Texans, their rival was the Tennessee Titans, where they picked up L'Jarius Sneed and DeAndre Hopkins. And the Raiders, we covered Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes. They won the AFC West. And here are your standings in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles won the NFC East by getting Malik Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. The Packers picked up DJ Moore and Jalen Johnson from their rival, the Chicago Bears. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Derek Brown and Taylor Moton from their rival, the Carolina Panthers. And in the NFC West, the 49ers got Cooper Kupp and Darius Williams from their rival, the Los Angeles Rams. Leading the league in passer rating, staying with the San Francisco 49ers, is Brock Purdy, 37 touchdowns, 8 picks. We did have a running back, though, on a new team lead the league in rushing yards, and that is Josh Jacobs, who was traded to the Browns from the Green Bay Packers. He got 1,451 yards rushing with 14 touchdowns. And the man who led the league in receptions and second in receiving yards is DJ Moore of the Green Bay Packers, coming over from the Bears. And our sack leader in this simulation was Aiden Hutchinson of the Vikings, that was traded from the Detroit Lions with 22.5. And Brock Purdy won league MVP. And here is your playoff bracket for this rival simulation. And I'm going to skip to the NFC and AFC Championship games. Let's see who's in it. And here are your AFC and NFC Championship games. And let's start off with the Cardinals taking on the Eagles. Well, the Eagles already got on the board. Like I said earlier, they got Malik Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence. You're going to see in the middle of this Eagles defense. As for the Cardinals, their rival was the Seattle Seahawks, where they picked up DK Metcalf. Now he's rocking the number 86, but it's the same DK Metcalf, and they got Devin Witherspoon from the Seahawks as well on defense. I'm actually very surprised the Cardinals are here. I'm even a little surprised that the Eagles are here. Dexter Lawrence, big addition on defense, but they lost A.J. Brown, and we saw how that offense looked without him. I guess Malik Neighbors had a great rookie season. For the other NFC East team, not the Giants, the Eagles. You got Metcalf, James Conner, Marvin Harrison. Pretty good weapons for Kyler Murray here. Offensive line breaking down at the last second. He's sacked. This experiment was pretty cool to see so far, and I'm curious to see who's going to lift the Lombardi. We switched some quarterbacks, some linebackers, some corners, some safeties, some wide receivers, some running backs. As Kyler sacked again, I feel like we mixed in a good amount of different positions. I'm going to flip over to this Eagles offense. I was really tempted to put Barkley back on the Giants, but A.J. Brown was higher rated. Saquon Barkley stays with the Eagles. Had a game against the Giants this past week, so I feel like we didn't have to make him suffer by going back there. I'd like to see Malik Neighbors get a catch. I'm not exactly sure where he is on the field here, so I'm not sure what number he's rocking. I think Devontae Smith is at the bottom. This could be Neighbors in motion. I believe this is going to be Neighbors. Number 84, is that Neighbors? Yes, it is. So Malik Neighbors able to get up to superstar ability being on the Philadelphia Eagles offense. I don't know if he's going to get that with the Giants. Another touch pass to him. And he's going to break a couple of tackles, get a first down for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is going to pass. Looks like he wants to run, though. Jalen Hurts blocked by Neighbors. Maybe A.J. Brown would have held that block a little bit better. He went to the Giants for the season. Maybe Jalen Hurts would have gotten the end zone. I think Witherspoon's at the top of the screen. I'm not 100% sure, though. Barkley stuff, that's third down. Well, we see Witherspoon would have picked. And then Jalen Hurts got sacked on the next play. I jumped out of it on accident. But the like goal for this video set at 2,000 likes. If you all enjoyed this video, I will try to do other experiments like this one in the future. And the Philadelphia Eagles, with Malik Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence joining the team, knock off the Cardinals in the NFC title game. And now let's check out the AFC title game between the Bills and the Texans. So for CJ Stroud, he has no Laramie Tunsil at his left tackle position, and Derek Stingley Jr. has been traded to the Tennessee Titans. But he did get DeAndre Hopkins. Joe Mixon going to get the catch there, and L'Jarius Sneed on defense. So the Texans, they make the AFC title game. For the Bills, they wound up picking up, like I said earlier, Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. So no Josh Allen, and they still made it to the AFC title game. Stroud going deep. Oh, he should have been picked. He was looking for Nico Collins. Got Hopkins in the slot up top. He's rocking the number 18. He's back in Houston. I just realized that. How did I just realized? that this is the first time that DeAndre Hopkins is back in Houston since he's been traded. He's a Texan again. CJ Stroud just picked up 27 on 3rd and 18. That's crazy. Will we see DeAndre Hopkins first catch as a Texan in what, like 4 or 5 years? Come on, let's see it. Let's see it, Stroud. Get Hopkins the ball. He wants to take off again. He's brought down instead. So I believe the Bills picked up Ryan Tannehill to be their quarterback. So you got Amari Cooper now. You have Keon Coleman, and you have Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, Kincaid at tight end, James Cook at running back. I mean, this team is absolutely loaded. I just don't know how good Tannehill is going to be, but I guess he's been pretty solid to get them to the AFC title game, and they're 1 win away from the Super Bowl. That would be funny. Tyreek at the bottom. He's rocking the number 83. James Cook on the carry. Amari Cooper with the block, and James Cook gets to about the 36-37. 3rd and 11. Will Tannehill look for Tyreek Hill here? Your number 1 receiver. I mean, you have Amari Cooper, too, who just joined this team. This is like a brand new offense. Tannehill, too. All 3 of these guys basically new to the Bills. Tannehill going to take off on 3rd down like Stroud did, and he's going to pick up the first just like Stroud did. If he runs for another 3rd down, that's going to be insane. Where is Tyreek Hill? Injuries are off, so I don't know where in the world Tyreek Hill is right now. Tannehill, he's not going to be able to run this. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a second. He sacked. And it's the Buffalo Bills with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey from the Dolphins, and Tannehill going to the Super Bowl. And here they come, led by Tannehill, Tyreek, and Ramsey, the Buffalo Bills. And entering the Super Bowl on the other side with Malik Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence, headlined by Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl 59. And we jump on first with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. There's Dallas Goedert. We'll see if we have a big game from Malik Neighbors. Dexter Lawrence could make some plays defensively. This would be very insulting for my Giants to have Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence raise the Lombardi as Eagles and Saquon. I mean, it wasn't in this game that we switched him to a rival team, but just the fact that he's on the rival team, kind of one of the reasons I made this video. Because Barkley went off against the Giants this past week, so I was like, what if everybody had rival players? And if he lifts the Lombardi as an Eagle, that's going to be crazy. That is going to be crazy. Jalen Hurts is going to go to Barkley, and they're basically at midfield. And the Philadelphia Eagles are knocking on the door to score right now. Devontae Smith got X Factor. Neighbors might have lost his ability. I don't even see one under number 84. I don't see an X Factor or a superstar ability, so I'm not sure what happened to Malik Neighbors. He's all the way at the bottom of the screen. You can't really see him right now. But the Eagles look like they're going to punch this one in. Without A.J. Brown, I can't believe they're going to win the Super Bowl possibly. Down to the 2 is Barkley. If Neighbors scores a touchdown, I don't know what I'm going to do. If he scores a touchdown, I don't know what he's going to do. Jalen Hurts, touchdown, Eagles. I'd like to see Tyreek Hill get a target here. We did not see anything in the AFC Championship game from the drive that we watched. Amari Cooper is going to be in motion. Will they air this thing to Tyreek? Tannehill. There's Tyreek Hill, but he takes a big hit. Incomplete. Tried to get it to him right away. Wasn't able to do it, though. Dexter Lawrence on defense. No pressure really on Tannehill there, but Tyreek Hill took a big hit. Will they go back to him? Tyreek, you're going to have to go off if you want to be a Super Bowl champion for the 2nd time in your career. He's beaten Buffalo in the playoffs. Now he's trying to win a Super Bowl with them. And the like goal for this video is going to be set at 2,000 likes. If you want to see me do other videos like this, comment down below some other ideas. And if we get 2,000 likes, I will bring them to you as Tannehill will slide. And we're going to simulate this. Let's see. We're going to jump in for the whole Super Sim with you all. It's 7-0, 14-0 Eagles, 21-0 Eagles with Neighbors and Dexter Lawrence and Barkley. It's going to be a Giants Super Bowl. Why couldn't they play like this on the Giants? I don't get it. 24-10. Do the Bills have a comeback in them? They have Tyreek, but it's not good enough. The Philadelphia Eagles with 3 Giants players just won the Lombardi. The Eagles hoisted the Lombardi with 3 Giants possibly on the podium. That's going to do it for the video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.